Alright, today we're going to learn a different form of the equation of the circle, and that's called standard form. Before we do that, let's just learn where it comes from. This is this is center radius form because it provides the center and the radius of the circle. Let's perform some algebra and FOIL this out to see what the standard form of a circle looks like generally for any value a, b, and c. So let's FOIL this out. X minus a squared is x squared minus 2ax plus a squared. Y minus b squared, y squared minus 2by plus b squared equals c squared. Now the key to this is to recall that a, b, and c are all numbers. So the only variables here are x squared, x, y squared, and y. The rest are all numbers. Let's change the order of this and say x squared plus y squared minus 2ax minus 2by plus a squared plus b squared, and now I'm going to subtract c squared equals 0. This is the standard form of a circle. Now this probably looks a little complicated to you, but again, recall that a, b, and c are all numbers. Let's take the equation in center radius form of x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16, and let's express that in standard form. We're going to FOIL this out, and if you FOIL correctly, you should get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Let's FOIL this out, and if you FOIL it correctly, you should get y squared minus 6y plus 9 equals 16. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did from this step to this step. I'm going to change the order, and I'm going to combine like terms. The only problem here, I couldn't combine like terms because I don't know what a, b, and c are. But they're going to end up being numbers, so I will combine them if I know their values. So I'm going to change the order and say x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y plus 9, and now I'll subtract 16 from both sides, which gives me x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y, and now I'll just combine like terms here and say minus 7 equals 0. So this is standard form. It's standard form because of the order x squared, x, y, number equals 0. What we're going to learn today, how do we get from this to that? So, oh, you know what? I made a mistake here. I forgot the plus 4 here. So this is an additional plus 4. 13 minus 16 is minus 3. Sorry about that. So this is still standard form, and we're going to learn how do we get from that to that. So here's an example. Notice x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y minus 3. It's the same example we got. So this is going to end up being our center radius form. Now the key to this procedure is from right here. Again, a is a number, so the number in front of x is negative 2a. The number in front of y is negative 2b. Well, the number in front of x here is 4, and the number in front of y here is negative 6. So we're going to take this standard form, convert it to center radius form, and that will help us find the coordinates of the center and find the radius. So now your procedure: negative 2a and negative 2b equals. Always, your procedure to convert from standard form to center radius form is to begin with negative 2a equals and negative 2b equals. Why? Because negative 2a is what's in front of x, and negative 2b is what's in front of y. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to set it equal to whatever's in front of x, 4. We're going to set this equal to whatever's in front of y, negative 6. And this is going to help us solve for a and b. So divide by negative 2, a equals negative 2. Divide by negative 2, b equals 3. So there we go. We have the center of the circle. The center of the circle is AB, negative 2, 3. So we're 2/3 of the way there for the center radius form. The last thing we need is the radius. And this part's a little tricky because right here, these are all numbers. A squared plus b squared minus c squared is the number. So right here, negative 3 is what we get for a squared plus b squared minus c squared. Now we have the value of a and we have the value of b. We can square them easily. We do not have the value of c. So let's square them. A squared, 4, b squared, 9. Remember, a and b, center of the circle. So we're going to use the formula a squared plus b squared minus c squared equals whatever number is in the equation. The number in the equation in this case is negative 3. A squared and b squared do nothing other than to help you find this. They have no redeeming qualities other than to help you find the value of c. So a squared is 4, b squared is 9, minus c squared equals whatever number is in your equation. And in this case, negative 3. And now we're just going to solve for c squared, and that's what's in our equation. 13 minus c squared equals negative 3. Subtract 13 from both sides. Negative c squared equals 16. Divide by negative 1. C squared equals 16. So just remember, the center radius form of a circle was x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals c squared. Well, here's a, negative 2. Negative 2 is positive 2. B was 3. Y minus 3 equals c squared, 16. So here is the center radius form of the circle, in which the center is negative 2, 3, and the radius is 4. So let's just review all of the steps here. Start with negative 2a equals and negative 2b equals. Negative 2a equals the number in front of x. Negative 2b equals the number in front of y. Step 2. Solve for a and b. This is the center. Step 3. Square a and b. Step 4. A squared plus b squared minus c squared equals number. And this is the number in the equation in standard form. The number without a variable, without an x squared, without a y squared. So not an x squared term, not a y squared term, not an x term, not a y term. The number. Whether it's positive or negative, make sure you're plugging it in appropriately. Since you have the value of a squared and b squared, and you have that number, c squared is what you're solving for. So step 5, solve for c squared. Just remember, c is the radius. C squared is in the equation.